that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. You know, it passed with no incident, no one giving it a second thought. But what it was there was a car broke down on the side of the road, and there was a woman there with two, I'm going to say preteen children, and a guy with a flatbed wrecker that had just arrived, and he was walking down the side of the wrecker on the roadside. We were going the same way, and there was a car coming up behind me that I know had to see that there was something going on up ahead of me. Yet they continued to race up at a pace that was going to put them right beside me at the same time I was passing the wrecker in the car and the woman with her two kids. And many times I don't think people think about anything but themselves. They don't think about what's going on in front of the vehicle in the lane next to them, because it doesn't affect them. If that guy would have tripped and fell into the lane, I could have killed him if I didn't make a choice. And my choice would have been to run him over, or to run the car beside me off into the median, or hit the car beside me that couldn't take his foot off the gas long enough to let me get past that situation by coming over a little bit into the lane he was in. I had to squeeze over. I actually went over the line and squeezed him over onto the yellow line to get past the situation. And you think, no, you're just thinking, you're just overthinking things, or you're trying to make a bigger deal out of something that there is. I knew a guy at one time that had a record, and he was at a scene of an accident, and he opened his door and he got out, and there were police cars there with their lights on and everything, but somebody was riding in the right lane. The accident was off on his shoulder. Somebody was riding in the right lane, and they weren't even getting over with the cop cars with the wreck on his shoulder, with the cop cars with their lights on, and a wrecker with his lights on. They stayed in the same lane, and I don't know, I wasn't there, that they even slowed down, because they hit the guy that I knew, and he was in a wheelchair for a long time. He had to learn how to walk again, and all because people don't pay attention to what's going on in front of them, and also in front of other people. My job, I don't look at the back of the vehicle that's directly in front of me. I'm looking a half a mile up the road. I'm looking at the other side of the road. I'm looking at the shoulder. Your car, most cars, to the people that are driving them, have only one side to them, and that's what's in front of me, what's keeping me from doing what I want to do. All right, when I'm in the truck, I have to look at what's in front of me, because it's probably somebody doing something stupid. I have to look on what's coming up beside me on either side, because it's probably somebody getting ready to do something stupid. I have to look to see who's 6 feet off my bumper in a 75,000, 80,000 pound truck, because they think that 5 feet off my bumper that I'm going to be able to go faster. This truck, the company has parameters. They set the speed limit on the truck. I can only go as fast as this truck will go, and believe me, if I can legally do it, I'm doing it. Okay, but so this truck has 6 sides. It has what's in front, it has what's in back, it has what's on either side, it has what am I running over, what's in the road ahead of me, what am I hitting? Am I hitting a piece of metal? I've done that before. Hit a piece of metal, poked a hole in my fuel tank. And I spent half the day trying to get that straightened out. What's in front of me on the road? And what's coming up that's not high enough? Am I going to hit a bridge? Am I going to hit a tree limb? Am I going to hit a light? Am I going to hit a wire? Is something hanging down, sticking down, built too low that I'm going to run into? So I have to pay attention to 6 things at the same time. Plus I got to pay attention to what people are doing in ignorance. And I'm not saying, sometimes people do stupid things, sometimes they do ignorant things. One thing that really is annoying is, and bless your hearts, it's people trying to help. And I tell people this all the time: don't help me, get out of my way. All right, you'll get somebody, like I'll be watching and I'll be having an opportunity to get out from behind somebody, and some kind person will pull up 5 feet off the back of my trailer, and it looks like they're right beside me because I'm looking in a little, a mirror, and I'm trying to judge what's going on 65, 70 feet back behind me. Now that's the back of the trailer. Now if you're back another 10 feet, 80 feet back, I'm trying to judge in a mirror, and it looks like you're right beside my trailer. All right, so now in your act of kindness, I'm trying to get over, and I look and there's a car in my way. Now you're being kind and you have a different perspective. You can see, oh geez, he's got 10 feet in front of me, why doesn't he get over? And so now they get frustrated and they take off and they go by me like, didn't you see I'm trying to help you? And they go on frustrated, shaking their heads sometimes, But if they would have looked in their mirror and would have seen that they were the last car in a string, and if they would have just kept going the same speed that they were going, I could have eased out from behind whatever I'm behind and been on my way, and we both would have been better off. But like I say, in their act of kindness and not paying attention to what's going on behind them, they now have stuck me in behind, and now the gap that I was going to go into behind them is now gone, and I'm stuck there longer. That happens many times a day because people are so kind. I wish you could see this Dodge pickup truck that's 4 feet off the back of my bumper right now. You'll see him here in a second now. He was riding on the yellow line so I could see him, because I wasn't aware that he was there, because I must not have been, because I was in the lane in front of him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Pay attention to what's happening when you're trying to help a truck, because I can promise you, most of the time, you would help the truck more by just doing what you're going to do and go on about your business. Because you do things in kindness, but also in ignorance. And unless, like a truck driver helping another truck driver, if you were in your car and you were helping a guy out, you would know how to help him in a way that would help him. But for people that want to help trucks, there are a few out there, I would imagine, that think trucks are okay or pretty cool, and they want to kind of feel that kindred brotherhood, helping a brother out, and just pay attention to what's going on around you and be clear in riding at the back of the trailer, wondering why I'm not getting over, and then, I'm probably not getting over because you're riding at the back of my trailer. When I look at you in the mirror, it would appear that you're much closer than you are. Another thing that cars do, they'll come up on the back of a truck and they'll give you a little flash. Just give them a little flash when you're coming up on them so that they know that you're there. Well, let me tell you another little trade secret here, that truck drivers will flash their lights at another truck, telling them that it's okay to come over. Okay? So when you're flying up in your car and you give the little courteous flash of the lights to let me know that you're there, so I'll see you, because I'm not smart enough to know that you're there. So it's up to you. Well, let me tell you, I'm aware that you're there way before you are aware that I'm aware. And because not only am I looking a half a mile ahead, I'm looking back as far as I can too. And I try to be aware of everything that's going on around me, in front of me, behind me, what's coming up on me. When you give that little flash, if I'm behind somebody and I'm stuck behind them and you flash your lights at me, guess what I might do? I might pull out in front of you, because you just gave me the industry standard message that it's okay to come over. So once again, it's a thing in ignorance, I guess. I remember hearing something like that in driver's education, where they told me, oh, just flash your lights, give them a little flash so that they know you're there. Well, guess what? They know you're there. So don't give them a little flash, because when you give them a little flash, you're telling them to come on over. Potentially. And we don't, a lot of things that cars do we take with a grain of salt. So a lot of times if I look at somebody and they flash their lights at me, I don't know what I can't read their mind, and I assume that whatever they're doing is probably in error, unless, I don't know. So anyway, if you're driving down the road, pay attention to what's going on in front of your vehicle. Look as far up the road as you can. Not all the time, but occasionally glance way up the road. Look at what's in front of you, what you're about to run over. Look, if somebody's coming up behind you, pay attention. Just every once in a while, take a look at your mirror and see what's coming up behind you, in case you have to make a decision. Because like in the beginning when I said the guy was walking between his wrecker and the road, and I was in the lane, and this guy timed it perfectly so he would be right next to me when I was beside the wrecker. I'm not going to hit that guy. I'm going to run you into the median. I'm going to hit your car, because you're in a car. And even if I wipe you out, even if I spin you out or whatever it takes, you have a chance. But to hit a guy right now, I've got my tandems were 29 each, just slightly over 29, and my steer tires were about 11,000 when I weighed in. So I'm about 71,000 pounds. That guy doesn't have a chance if I hit him with 71,000 pounds. But if I run you off in the ditch, because we're both going the same speed, or a similar speed in the same direction, you might even roll your car, but you probably will walk away from it. So bear that in mind when you're racing to get up next to a truck that's going past an incident, because you may be the best option. Alrighty.